Thank you very much to invite me here. So after sitting here for the whole day yesterday, I decided to put the practical case first because I think this case, this is an interesting case from the TFTC's ruling decision in 2017. I think it summarized a lot of future we discussed yesterday in terms of the big data and the platform. So I will spend a few minutes just talk about the case. Then after that, I'm talking about the recent paper I work on with Daniel Sogo here. So I think I'm lucky than most of the presenters because my co-author is here. So he's going to answer all of the top questions. So I'm going to do the easy one. Okay, this case is kind of interesting because this is the platform case. So 591.com is the largest house rental platform company in Taiwan. So what is the case? What is the operation here? They just like two-side markets. They charge no price. That's a zero price for the home sinker, and the other side they charge a price for the advertiser. Okay. So one day there's a new company. They name themselves as the technology company. I call the new platform house rental company here. They just grab the data without any permission from the 591.com. Okay, so 591.com send a complaint to TFTC. Okay, then they operate similar ways. They charge no price to the home sinkers. Okay. This is another side of the market. 591.com do gain the revenue from the advertiser, and also the same as the new company. Okay, what is interesting about this case? If we look at just the left side, the home sinker side, there's no harm because the price is zero. Actually, that's the argument put it by the new company. Okay, during the investigation, the new company say, "Hey, there's no harm because to search for the information is free. We just grab the data." Okay, but if we take the both sides into consideration, there's some hurt because a new company can attract some customer from the old platform company. That will generate the negative externality and the revenue from the advertiser side. So TFTC consider the both side externality into this case and have the ruling decision. They use a supplementary provision, that's Article 25 of the Fair Trade Act, and they just impose the minimum level of fine. Okay. I think I just briefly introduced the case. So the reason I like this case because I think this case has some implication to the antitrust law enforcement. First of all, this case consider the two-side market. Okay, that's why they can generate the serious harm to have the ruling decision. And the second thing is about the public and the private data ownership. I think someone just mentioned this yesterday. In this case, from the view of TFTC, I don't think TFTC consider the big data is the essential facility. Okay, if TFTC consider this is the essential facility, that's okay to grab the data. Okay, because the data is public available. But in this case, I don't think so. Okay, I think that's another message sent from the TFTC in this case. And the third one is how to quantify the externality is still the challenge. That's why they use the minimum level of fine. Okay, because I know exactly why they put into the minimum level of fine because I was in charge in this case, the commissioner. So we try to calculate the damage or harm to set up the appropriate level of fine, but we cannot do it because it's so difficult to quantify the externality. So we just put into the minimum level of fine. Okay, because we think lawyers are so expensive, they probably won't bother to spend money to hire a lawyer. Yes, we TFT now we I'm no longer TFTC. So TFTC think this is a safe way to do that. You know the narrative stuff is kind of complicated because that's dynamic. Okay, because when you affect this side and that will have a negative side to the number of home sinker, it's gone and so forth. So we just cannot find an easy way to do the calculation. So I put into the minimum level fine also reflect a difficulty to calculate the externality. Oh, actually, we put another remedy is that we ask a new company to negotiate to reach agreement with the 591 duck count. Okay, because before the ruling decision, they don't want to negotiate with the 591 duck count because they think it's legal to do that. Okay, but after the ruling decision, they have to negotiate with the 591 duck count. Otherwise, they cannot use the data. Okay, the data belong to the 591 duck count. Okay, that's the message about the relate to the essential facility. Oh, okay, and so TFTC also find something they have to do in terms of the law enforcement because it's kind of interesting in this case because the small one try to attack the large one. Okay, I think in most of the antitrust case, if you have enough market power, you can try to hurt the small firm. But this case is kind of opposite. Okay, the new company try to generate the damage to the large one. So that's why they just use the Article 25. That's a supplementary provision of the Welfare Act. Okay, so that's also give a different thought of the TFTC to probably need to come up with an amendment, try to deal with this kind of the platform case. Okay, this is all the case here. Any questions? Back to the data. So depend on what you think about the data. Is the data essential facility? Everyone can use the data for free or not? That's a part of the big issue in the platform in terms of antitrust enforcement. We have the case back to 2017. Though. I still like the case because I think that's the first case in TFTC to consider the platform nature into the case investigation. Okay, I spent too much time in the paper. So here's the paper I work with Danny. So we try to look at the impact of Airbnb on the hotel industry. Okay, we used the data in Taiwan. So following the majority to use a keyword hypothetic. So I put the hypothetical anti-trust scenario here first. So if we know that Airbnb into the new area, and if we observe some hotel cut the price, and other hotel probably even raise the price. So on the surface, what are the antitrust issue that may relate to this case? So is the when the hotel cut the price is sort of like a predatory pricing strategy? I mean, just on the surface, okay. And some hotel even just raise the price is abuse or dominate, okay. I think our paper just try to provide the answer to these questions. So before we do that, two issues must be raised. First one is what is the relevant market for Airbnb? If you want to do the competition analysis, probably the first thing you have to define the market. Okay, and the second thing is that what is the rule of reason approach we can do in terms of to answer these two questions. I think we all agree that in Europe and the U.S., we now try to follow the rule of reason approach. That means that we try to see the action taken from the firm are economically rational or not. Okay. So our paper try to answer these two questions. So before I go any further, let me talk about a little bit the background. I think we can skip it. Okay, that's just Airbnb is a room sharing economy here. So this is a picture for the Airbnb. I apologize, that's all Chinese because I focus on the Chinese item. Okay, so anyway, in the Airbnb, if you type the location, that will show you a lot of items. This is one of the example. This item will show you the location and the price here and the other, the characteristic of the item. Okay. So in Airbnb actually operated since 2008. This is the platform. Okay, two sides of platform. One side of the platform, people can search the information, and another side, the host can provide the item to the platform. And the price actually is determined by the individual host. Okay, and Airbnb charge the service fee for the both sides. Or you charge a little bit higher, probably around 9 to 12% to the guest, and another 3% to the host. I just try to get the information from a lot of papers. Okay, so this is probably right because everybody cite these numbers, but we don't know exactly what is the charge by Airbnb, because I try to contact the Airbnb in Taiwan. I almost get their agreement to use the data, but later on they find out that I ever work for the TFTC. So in the last minutes they told me, oh no, yeah, we cannot share the data with you. We don't want to get into any problem. Okay. If I share the case with a minimum fine, only 15,000 NT dollar, they probably will agree to do that. In Taiwan, Airbnb entered Taiwan in 2013. So this is a number of the accumulated. Oh, I will show you another one. So one interesting thing happened in the policy change. So before September 2017, we don't have any regulation on this kind of international platform. But after that, they put a 20% sales tax, just like the regular sales tax as the domestic firm on this kind of international platform. I think this is the whole picture when I look at the Airbnb. If we look at the supply side and the demand side, so this is a housing market. So this is the Airbnb market. That's for the supply side. For the demand side, we have a similar things. This is the Airbnb. This is the hotel market. So the most interesting part probably these two. Okay. And these two actually are the heart of the argument around the sharing economy. Okay, because if there's some interaction, means that the share economy do have an impact on the traditional market. If there's no interaction here, means that sharing economy is okay though. They just create a new market and have no impact on the traditional market. Okay, and this paper. We work together. Danny and I work together. We're trying to look at this part. Okay, we're trying to look at if the Airbnb have any impact on the hotel industry. What is new in the paper? We studied the encumbered reposition mechanism here. So a lot of management paper look at the entry response. Both in price and the non-price. Most of them look at the price response. And some of the paper, very few paper in the airline industry, they look at the non-price response, just like on-time service. Okay, so here we also look at the price and the non-price response of the hotels to Airbnb. And we try to identify how the online competition deal with the impact, the disruption from the traditional industry. Note that the hotel are not platform industry. Airbnb are platform industry. Okay, so our case is kind of interesting here. So we also look at the heterogeneity effect of the impact. Especially we separate the effect for the chain brand and the non-chain brand hotel and the different level quality hotel. Okay. I think I'm going to skip it because this is all the contribution to the literature. Okay. here we have 4 hypotheses. The first one, we assume that Airbnb will reduce the occupation rate of a hotel. Actually, that's a reduce the hotel demand. Okay, and the second one, we assume the Airbnb will have a stronger and a negative effect for the low quality and the non-chain brand hotels. Okay, because they are more close to the Airbnb item. And the third one, we assume a low quality hotel will respond more aggressively or more quickly in the price cutting strategy. Okay, and high quality hotel will more likely to use the service, the non-price response strategy, which is increase the service quality. Okay, so the data, we collect the data by ourselves. So because there's some website provide the Airbnb data, but there's no data available for Taiwan. So I hired a research assistant to do the job, and then with a very low salary. So, so this is a good deal. Okay. I just asked them to use Python. So some professor asked if we use big data technology to do that. This is the example. Okay, I hired 2 RA to use Python to grab the data. So the reason I know Python can grab the data because of that 591 case. The new company used Python to grab the data, so I just use the same way to do my analysis. This is the trend. This is kind of interesting though, because you see, this kind of externality needs time to generate the effect. So I think this trend is pretty similar to what I saw about Uber. Okay, in the beginning, Uber have a very small growth rate, but after that, it just jump a lot. Okay. The main data is the administrative data from the government. This is hotel tourism business performance data. So we get the data from January 2010 to September 2017. This is the monthly and hotel individual level panel data. Okay. So in total, we have over 10,000 observations in this data set. So this is the model we estimate. Here, this is the main model. It's pretty straightforward fixed effect model. I try to talk a little bit why we use a fixed effect model. Probably fixed effect is the best choice we can have because we don't have any exogenous shock here. And we cannot find any very convincing instrument variable here. So we just follow the standard approach to estimate the price equation, revenue equation, the demand equation using a fixed effect. In the end of the paper, I have run a bunch of robustness checks to check the specification of the fixed effect. Okay, so I assume you can believe the result is reasonable. Okay, this is the result. Okay. Here, the demand, because we separate the high and the low quality, so you will see that on average is a negative, okay? But the high quality hotel is a little bit, sort of like have a positive effect, okay? But the low quality hotel, even worse, they have a stronger negative effect here, okay? So in terms of the price, we find a very interesting result here because a high-quality hotel increased the price and the low-quality hotel reduced their price. Okay, and the service quality, we find that high-quality hotel try to increase their service quality and the low-quality hotel try to decrease their service quality. Okay, so this is also the robustness check to look at the revenue. What is the most interesting finding in this paper? After the entry of Airbnb, we find that it changed the hotel industry. The low-quality hotel competed with Airbnb with the price strategy. But high-quality hotel try to differentiate themselves from Airbnb. Okay, so they take the opportunity to do the repositioning. So they try to attract the high quality customer. So that's why they increase the price and also increase the service quality. So the implication to antitrust is kind of obvious here. First of all, what about the market definition? Actually, this is the example following the suggestion by OECD. So sometimes, especially in this kind of platform economy, try to use the standard approach like a SNP test to this kind of platform industry is kind of difficult. So OECD suggests that why don't you just look at the theory of harm and start with the small market. So we provide the example how to do that. And we also provide the example how to apply the rule of reason approach to look at the platform industry. Okay, so
that's the case in the States. But
okay.